Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being faithful to this journey that we are on. We're going to be doing 218th episode of Be With Me. And 3 times in this passage, the same turn of phrase is used. You will die in your sin. You will die in your sin. You will die in your sin. So apparently it's something that John and Jesus wants us to know about. This is from John chapter 8. We're going to start in verse 21. So Jesus said to them again, I am going away. You will seek me, and you will die in your sin. Let's pay attention to that. Where I am going, you cannot come. So the Jews said, will he kill himself, since he says, where I am going, you cannot come? He said to them, you are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. I told you that you would die in your sins. For unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. There it is the third time. So a very important passage, obviously, a turn of phrase he wants us to think about and understand. It's obviously a bad thing. You don't want to end up with this bag of sin. It prevents us from doing something. It prevents us from going with him to this place he describes. He just says, you're from below, I'm from above. You can't go there just by seeking. You can't go there because of this bag of sin is the way that I kind of imagine it. But there is a way out, verse 24. So the bad news is there's this bag of sin. We have a foundational problem. It is sin. A great question to ask yourself as well as everybody you encounter in the universe is, what will you do about your sin? Other religions, what will you do about your sins? We kind of have three things that come to mind. One is deny it. I'm a good person. I'm not as bad as Hitler. Man is basically good. So just denial that there is sin in the world. I think the antidote to that is just watch the evening news or open. You don't even have to open the paper. Just look at the front page. The second thing is to work it off, to try to do this like a teeter-totter scale where you put more good things than the bad things. But that's folly because we don't have the mindset of God. And then the final one is, at least in this passage, Jesus says, I told you you would die in your sins, for unless, so there's a way out, unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. It's almost insultingly easy. So let's talk about dying in your sins. So dying of your sins means to die in the company of your sins, to die not just in the condition of sin, that I am a sinner, but to die with your collection, die among your sins, among and amidst the sins that you have done and collected over your lifetime. So obviously a pretty big problem, a pretty big bag of sins for all of us, unless you believe. So the good news is here that there is a way out. This is a problem as far as God's view, because God is a holy God and doesn't look nicely on sins, and we all have them, and so we're all crashing the plane absent belief. In John chapter 6, people are asking him, what must we do to be doing the works of God? And he says, this is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent. That's John 6, 28 and 29. The work of God is to believe. And believe in what? Well, this refers back to Exodus chapter 14, where Moses finds a burning bush. He turns aside. The Lord sees him that he turns aside. And he finds out that God has this job for him, which is to send him to Pharaoh, and he promises him that he'll be with him. And then Moses says to God, this is Exodus 3:13, If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? So he asks God this foundational question, like, what is your name? How would you like to be referred to? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. So the name that God wishes to foundationally be known as is I am. And we see more than just an echo. This is, I think, a direct reference to it here. I told you that you would die in your sins, for unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. So here we see Jesus claiming to be the Lord. Don't say that Jesus didn't claim to be the Lord. He's doing it here again. And how do we get rid of this condition of sin and the company of sin that we end our life with? Well, first of all, seeking does not equal belief. Let's say that. So the Pharisees are people that I'm going away and you will seek me and you will die in your sins. So seeking is good, but belief is great. Belief is the end point that we're looking for. Other spiritual words for that are trusting. And it's almost insultingly easy for those of you who have the gift of pride. It's almost foolish. You mean to tell me by this activity of mental assent, I can get out of carrying this bag of sins to the end of my life? I can fix this problem that I have and you have and everybody has? Obviously, it's unfixable in all the ways we try, absent God's provision. So if you're not a believer, we're going to come to an end. You're going to come to an end. Perhaps it's this afternoon. Maybe the Lord will give you some more time. I almost think of this like a game of hot potato. But the only problem is you're the only one playing. There's no other person that you can hand your hot potato to. You can, maybe blame people and yell and scream about it. But the point is, you've got the hot potato. You're holding the bag. Everybody's playing their own game. You don't have anybody to pass the blame to or throw your bag of sins to, absent the Lord. So what he's saying is you're going to die with your bag of sins. You will die in your sins, absent your belief in the great fix that he has, which is the I am. So let's believe. If you haven't believed, today is the day so you don't end up with this bag of hot potatoes.